Hi everyone, this is Amy Hall, your ELA Curriculum Coordinator. I'm so excited to welcome you back to the 22-23 school year. I wish that I could be in front of each one of you with you to hug your necks and welcome you back in person, but that would be too many of us in one location. So you may see me, I'm going to come to a couple of your meetings, but I wanted to do a quick video for those of you who I don't get to be with so that you know the changes we made to the ELA curriculum. So I'm just here on the website under staff, and I'm going to go to the SSO. And now I'm going to click on the tab curriculum. And I'm just going to scroll down. And this video is for K2, so I'm going to go right in the middle to first grade. And I'm going to click on ELA. And you'll see the pacing guide, and I'll always tell you which books you're using. And then I'll click on the first 6 weeks when it's hyperlinked, and that's how I know it's ready to go. All right, so this first page, you'll just see a quick overview of the 6 weeks broken down by week, telling you how many days each week you have to teach, the units you're using, any important dates to note, and I'll also let you know if any of the curriculum is extending beyond that particular 6 weeks. So in this example, writing is going through the first week of the second 6 weeks. I've noted it here and here, so make sure you look for that. Also, you'll see that this works like a table of contents. These 3 categories will never change. If I'm in a PLC and I want to talk assessment, I can click on assessment and it'll take me right to that page. If I'm with my team and we're planning all of our shared reading for the 6 weeks before it starts, I can go right to that shared reading section and we can discuss it. So I wanted to make sure you know that those are a hyperlinked table of contents. And then these are planning tools. Want a curriculum overview? Want to watch this again because you didn't catch some things? It'll be linked right here. Are you new and you're not sure how to register your new units of study kits? There's a video walking you through it if you're a visual learner. If you can do it step by step from a piece of paper, I've got one here that tells you how to register all your resources. And then I've got your instructional minutes for the year and the district calendar. I would print these. Your instructional minutes have changed, and you'll want to make sure you note the changes so you're aware. And then our philosophy and beliefs about literacy, our WISD literacy terms and the definitions, and then common routines and procedures that you might not think about that you'll definitely want to touch throughout the year to make sure your kids know what to do. And so I made this with a group of teachers, and we literally listed every possible routine and procedure we could think of in a literacy workshop model classroom of things we would want kids to know. And maybe you can even think of different ones or more. Let me know. We'll add to the list. These are things you're going to refer to all throughout the year, because we know that if we don't have routines and procedures in place, we really can't teach. And so you'll want to think about some of these things and pull up the list just to consider how will you teach your kids your routines and procedures in your classroom. This is new. It's just a visual of the resources we have for each component of literacy and any additional resources we've purchased for you as a literacy teacher in WISD. And then this is also new. It's a resource hub. Now you're going to find that some of the pages have not been built, or you might find them quite sparse. We're still building it, so bear with us and check back for regular updates. It is an alpha order, so it goes from A all the way to T. And so if you find we're missing a topic, or you have a great resource for one of the topics we have, please let us know. We would love for you to help us build this. But I envision this, that you're using this for an enrichment group or an intervention group that you're pulling, or a SPED teacher might use some of the resources when they're pushing into a classroom and pulling a small group. Or maybe you're brand new and you want to know more about BAS, even though I know you'll be trained on your campus. Or maybe it's the patterns of power is new to you, and so you want to find out more and watch videos of a classroom teacher doing patterns of power. You can click on that and find out. Maybe you're building your classroom library and you want tips about that. Here you go. There's a place for that. Maybe you want all the resources that come with your reading and writing strategies book. Click here and you'll find those. So again, we are still building this, but this is a new part of our curriculum. And then here are common websites that you might use. If you find that I didn't include one that you use that you think all teachers need to know about, please let me know and I'll link it here. If you don't know about the Florida Research Center resources, they are amazing for planning small group instruction. Definitely you want to check that out. If we scroll down, we still have our unit of focus, where I'll give you a big summary of the units that you're using. I'll tell you read alouds to use at the beginning of the year. And I think, wow, if I were you, and in those first 3 days of school that kids come back, I would probably do 3 read alouds a day. And I've linked a list of great read alouds for the beginning of the year. You'll also see that I give you day-by-day overviews. You told me that you love these, and I break down each unit by lesson and give you the teaching point for each one, what you might share or conference with kids on during the independent time. What are you doing? It's right here. And then the share, what you will come back to the carpet with kids and talk about the work you did that day. I've also now summarized the bends for you. These are great when you're making lesson plans. Don't reinvent the wheel. Let's work smarter, not harder. You're planning the unit, and I know you're doing the unit planning protocol with your team and reading the unit overview every year, and you're doing all that work. So if this can help you, I hope that it does. Please use it for your lesson planning purposes. Whatever the requirements are on your campus. Make sure you know that from your principal. And then these are the same: vertical connections, vocabulary, misconceptions. And then you'll find that your assessments this year are all on one page in one easy location, so that everything you need to know about assessment is located here. And then we just get into the curriculum. If we think about that umbrella and we think about the 5 parts of the WISD literacy model, we know that we have phonics or word study. We also have reading and writing workshop. And then we have shared reading and read aloud, where we spiral lots of teaks and do great modeling of what good readers look like and sound like. And so the heart of our instruction are those workshops: phonics, reading, and writing. And the way we get kids to fall in love with books and we all share text together and think about text together is when we do read aloud and shared reading. So your curriculum is color coded in those 5 sections. And first you'll see word study. It's right here. It's green. And so I'll just give you like a brief definition of what we do in Phonics Workshop, and then I'll show you what Phonics Workshop looks like. You'll see that we have rug time. You can equate that to our independent writing practice and writing workshop, and our independent reading practice and reading workshop. Rug time is the most crucial of our Phonics Workshop, and it's where kids actually apply their phonics and explore and manipulate resources and do all sorts of things with partners to really explore the learning that they're doing that day and apply it. So very important time, and I'll break down the minutes for you. And then I'll just get into the unit. I'll give you an overview. I'll tell you how to plan for the unit and get ready, how many days you have, suggested scope, and I'll even do a little bit of teach piece here. I put this up front, and it'll be here in every 6 weeks because we had some misconceptions last year between the difference of phonemic awareness and phonics. And we know that they are 2 different things. We had some teachers request that we use Heggerty for our phonics curriculum, but Heggerty is for phonemic awareness, and it's just one small part, an important part for sure, but one small part of the bigger picture. And so Heggerty would not cover our phonics, so we use units of study for our phonics, and we supplement our phonemic awareness with Heggerty. Phonemic awareness is built in to all of our phonics lessons, and you'll see that at the front of each lesson. You'll see what skills are being covered in each category. However, we know that we needed more direct instruction, so we purchased Heggerty. So this year, you'll see in your instructional minutes that you have 10 minutes of time to use Heggerty whole group with your students and 20 minutes for your units of study, for a total time of 30 minutes for word study in kinder and first grades. In 2nd and 5th, they do an intervention piece for kids who need that phonemic awareness piece with something called Bridge the Gap. So I just made sure that you knew the difference here, resources, and then how it transfers to reading and specifically writing. And then any resources you need for the phonics unit you're teaching will be listed right here by category. Now, I know you have the Learning Hub or the Resource Hub. Those are just general resources across a lot of topics. But here I'm going to keep the resources in this section that you need for this unit. So make sure you check these out and open them and look at them. Something new is you'll have a TEKS checklist. You requested this, and of course that made our document shorter, because when I list out all of the TEKS that we cover in a unit, it can make our document quite long. But now you can print out the TEKS checklist and it'll tell you all the TEKS you're covering. Another new piece that we did, of course, we still broke down each bend and gave you a suggested scope and sequence, and we did build in extra days in between for you to reteach or do those awesome extension lessons as you see fit. But we did tell you what are the main focus TEKS this year. This is new to K2. So we know you have tons of TEKS you're covering in ELA, but what are the most important? What should we be focusing on? A lot of times you'll meet in PLC with your grade level teams and your leadership team, and you'll want to create formative assessments or plan for what is it you're really looking at that day or that week. So I'm hoping that these focus TEKS will help guide that for you. And I'm going to go back and take these focus TEKS, and on your TEKS checklist, I'm going to highlight your focus TEKS in yellow on your checklist so you'll have that. So that'll get done this week. If you go into Reading Workshop, it really looks the same. I define it, I break down what our model looks like, and then this is new. I added the hierarchy of reading goals. You'll find this at the beginning of your Reading Strategies book by Jen Saravallo. And really, it's going to help you when you plan enrichment or intervention for students in a small group or one-to-one setting. Because we know we can't skip to comprehension if a kid needs fluency work. And I can't work on fluency if kids can't decode. And so I might need to work on print work. So think of this as a if-then. If they've got emergent reading skills, I can work on engagement. If they've got engagement under their belt, I'm going to work on decoding and that print work. Jen Saravallo has a brand new chapter on this, and I've linked it in your word studies section at the top. It's a great chapter to help with this print work. But you'll notice that this aligns to the chapters in your Reading Strategies book. But instead of trying to do all of the skills all at once, it helps us really drill down and focus. Kendall Berry and I did a session this summer about this topic, and I'd be more than happy to come out and work with your group or do an after-school PD with your team or campus if you weren't able to make it to that session this summer. And then we'll just break down again. Resources you're going to need to refer to throughout the year are in these two columns. So if you're a reading teacher, I would highly recommend that you print all of these resources and put them in a teacher planning binder. Your TEKS checklist is going to be here for all the TEKS you're covering in Reading Workshop. Again, I've broken down the bins, and then I've given you the focus TEKS to really focus on. And then for shared reading and read aloud, same thing. They're just really quick. In K2, your first shared reading and your first read aloud is planned for you. And you find that at the back of your units of study. I will always list which book you're using, and I will list the pages. And then, of course, we've purchased Fountas and Pinnell for you to use those resources for your other shared reading and your other read alouds. Also consider using a decodable text as a warm-up, or songs from the phonics and reading units that you have as warm-ups. We also purchased Fountas and Pinnell poems that you have that you can use. And we've also typed up nursery rhymes that go with our Hegarty kindergarten kit, but anyone can use nursery rhymes as a warm-up. Okay, my page jumped, so let me just get really back there really quickly. And the only other thing you need to know, make sure you do read what first read aloud and first shared reading you're doing, and after that you get to choose. But your TEKS checklists do look different for read aloud and shared reading. They span across all the 6 weeks so that you can check which ones you're covering, because we know in these two, interactive read aloud and shared reading, you're spiraling TEKS all the time. So just note that your TEKS checklists look different, and you're determining which TEKS you're covering each 6 weeks. And then for writing, it looks exactly the same as your reading, so I won't go deep into that. I do want to let you know that for first and second grade, you will be using Patterns of Power specific lessons as your warm up. So make sure you note that it's noted in your instructional minutes, and I will tell you which lesson to use each week as your warm up into writing workshop. If you need help with Patterns of Power, if that's new to your team, I'd love to come out and help you. You guys, I hope you have the best year ever. I'm a phone call or email away. If I can support you in any way, please reach out. All